Hello everyone, my name is Ishani Sengupta and today I welcome you all in this webinar where we are going to discuss a very valuable topic named gamification. Okay, so let's get started. Firstly, we will talk about today's agenda, that is, outcome of this webinar. We shall see first what is gamification, why gamification, its history, benefits, some secrets will get revealed, then how to use it in your own way, and lastly, where to utilize. Okay? 7 massive outcomes through this webinar. Okay? Now, in the very beginning, we all try to get the definition of some of whatever we pick up, right? But very often we found those definitions to be way out of our level of understanding. Just like this one, I have picked a definition from the Wikipedia which says gamification is the application of game design elements and game principles in non-game contexts. If you are new to gamification, does this make any sense? Like, did you understand anything? Right? So, don't worry, I'll give you a very simple definition for gamification. Okay? Now, gamification is nothing but a simple process that uses your own game thinking. Yes, it it is the way you think of a game you like. Along with it, some game mechanics, which we will discuss in later slides. Now, for what? They are together, they are to solve problems by engagement. Okay? So, this is what gamification is. Now, when I say game thinking, use of game thinking, what do I mean by that? It simply means adding game elements into other pre existing items. Items, I'm not only talking about your books or workplaces kind of things. Items can be anything, right? Like even a staircase is an item. In the next slide, I'll show you a video. Okay, over there you can see, and through this it will help you to understand and visualize whatever we are going to discuss in the later part of the webinar. Okay, so we shall see the short video. Here's the video. You can see most of the people are choosing escalators over staircases, right? Now see how to make it a fun segment. They're transforming the staircases to have fun and motivate people. So they're transforming into what? You got it right? Yes, piano. Now see what happens. See? Changed mindset. They're taking the staircases. So now a lot of people are having fun, and so they are trying to take the staircase instead of the escalator. Even the kids, their parents, everyone. Okay, so you see the drastic change in their behavior, human behavior, right? So this is how gamification works. It encourages people to have fun and do whatever they are doing now, right? Okay. Even it brings some advantages, right? Using the staircase, maintaining your body health, then body weight, leg power increases, etc. So it's quite good, right? Okay. Next we see, why is gamification important to understand? Okay, we just saw what is gamification. Now we must know why gamification. Now, for that, we shall know the idea behind gamification, right? Which is to make use of various proven elements of games to motivate greater involvement, as games satisfy a basic need for human beings. Right? When you play games, you have fun, right? You enjoy playing games. So it naturally motivates us. Nothing artificial, right? So we humans need to have some goals. We want to feel valued, we are competitive, and have a need for dominance and fame. This is where gamification comes in. Now, before we move to discuss other things, let us first know a little bit about its history. Wait a second. Is history important? Of course, it is important. The reason the history is important is because early success often define the future of a movement, and gamification is no different. So now talking about history, I'll talk it about in part by part. Okay, first I'll go with the 90s and then I'll go with the 20s. Okay, so you have seen why gamification in the slide, right? Now then, history. 90s. Okay, so here comes the first. 1973. The power of games to engage employees was recognized. Very clear to understand, right? Next comes 1978. The birth of social video games. Remember the term MUD1. MUD1 is the first multi-user dungeon game which was developed by Roy Trubshaw and Richard Burtle. Mistake. It had lit the fuse for the explosion of social online gaming. Today we all know about online gaming, don't we? Okay. So the next we see 1982. Academics recognized the potential of gaming, with computer games demonstrating inherent abilities to engage users. Articles started to appear which outlined what could be learned from these computer games and how to implement it in other areas. Okay, next 1999. Okay, so in 1999, more and more people started to recognize the power of fun. Yeah, it was the 1999 when they started to recognize what is the fun factor and they started taking it very seriously. Okay, now we shall see the 20s history. What is it? Okay, during the later part of the 20th century, people were beginning to consider games as a way to increase productivity in the workplace also. Okay, with the power of game mechanics to engage customers was also realized. Like not only the employees but also the customers were helped through gamification. Okay, so first we'll talk about 2002. While designing a game-like user interface for commercial electronic devices, for example, ATM, vending machine, mobile phones, etc., Nick Paling, okay, Nick Paling coined the term gamification to help us define the engagements and research that have or will come to take place. Okay, next 2005. Okay, in 2005, Rajat Pahadia founded Bunch Ball. Bunch Ball is nothing but a platform designed to boost engagement on websites by adding a layer of game mechanics. Now we are constantly talking about game mechanics, right? We'll see it in later slides. What are those? Don't worry. Okay, what is the next? 2009. Okay, fine. So, the launch of Foursquare, it's very important. The launch of Foursquare, it is an app which allows its users to search for and discover new places. Okay, discover a lot new places. Besides being a social tool, it was a very good example of gamification. Awarding users with badges and other achievements were included in it. Okay, next, 2010. So, by 2010, gamification was getting the recognition it deserved. You can see in the slide. But, like, things were getting really very interesting, like everywhere the gamification was included. Gamification became so popular term in 2010, which was mostly due to the increase in interest from the internet, right? Okay, so next is 2016. Gamification went viral. You must have heard the game named Pokemon Go, right? So, Pokemon Go is one of the most successful applications of gamification with over 800 million downloads. Huge, right? Okay. So, people who would rather keep themselves busy in collecting badges, they were like going out for walking around the streets and just searching for a rare Pokemon. Crazy things were they doing, right? So you can see the impact, right? Pokemon Go was one of the most successful apps of all time. It even broke some records like highest grossing app mobile game in its first month, most download in its first month, most international charts topped simultaneously, fastest time to gross 100 million. Is that all about 2016 or still left something? Another very big achievement of 2016 was about Snapchat. We all know about Snapchat, don't we? So, Snapchat released Streaks, introducing the world to a whole new gamification feature. Okay, so next we shall see about 2018. Okay, so what makes 2018 stand out? It was nearly all apps included gamification in some way. Okay, gamification was no longer just found on language learning and exercise apps, but also in meditation, to do lists, job applications, litter picking, wildlife spotting, tea collecting. Like, just go on and take names, you will find gamification included in it. So it was a drastic change, right? Because it got so very much popular that it got involved in each and everything. Okay, now we shall talk about some benefits. Okay, so here we go with the benefits. First, you can see increases user retention. How? If we apply gamification, it makes the user experience more enjoyable, right? Games, we just heard about the power of fun, right? So it works as a powerful tool for engaging item. Second, turns have to into want to. Very important, right? The thing you just felt that previously, that I have to do it, so I'm doing it. Now you feel that I want to do it, and that's why I'll do it, and it is where I'm having much fun, right? So having fun is another innate need of humans. We all know that. We all like to relax, have fun, and enjoy ourselves. Gamification plays on this desire of human beings to have fun, to engage and motivate people. Third, we human beings generally like to keep progressing in our lives, right? We are competitive in nature, so we want to win. After we win something, we want rewards. We like to get rewards, right? rewards, prizes, like that. Now, gamification plays on the human need and gives us reason to learn more and more, inspires us, and ultimately that reflects on ourself, like even in the personal development as well as professional development. Now, you must be thinking, how can gamification do all such things? Like, how is it playing with all these human psychologists, right? For that, there are some mechanisms or say techniques. We can call it as the magic secret. So now let us understand all the techniques. Okay. So the magic secret, there are 11 important gamification techniques. Firstly, I'll talk about storytelling. You can see in the slide, right? Okay. So we all like good story, a good plot, good content, characters in it, right? The storyline, which can be very sophisticated, very simple, is used to engage players and motivate them to keep going virtually at any activity. Okay? In the next slide, I'll show you a short video again where you will see how effective storytelling is. Okay? So the next secret will be leveling up. Okay? At the start of almost any game, right, almost any game, one of the first thing you see are the levels, right? Normally we start with the lowest level, but even in that level we get a glimpse of the environment of the game, don't we? We may get a map or the routes we can see, right? The pictures, the creative things we all see, right? So, and with the help of that we try to level up till the end. We try to level up from the zeroth level to the farther, right? The feeling of progress, success, and recognition motivates us to keep advancing in the game, right? Next is the countdown. It's very important. Setting a time limit is one of the most widely used techniques in gamification. A time limit or countdown is a highly motivational element that encourages us to complete any activity within a given period of time. Let me give you a good example for that. In real life, this countdown factor helps us to, like, in building such a mindset with which in our workplaces, when we get some work to do, when we get some projects to complete, we try to complete it within the set time frame. Okay, so it's a good thing, right? Good habit. Okay, next we will talk about badges. Sorry. Badges are a form of trophy or achievements that are given to the player or a team or a group. Now, virtually, you cannot hold a prize, right? So, badges will act in place of holding a prize, right? Virtually, virtual prizes are called badges. Like, now, gamification uses this type of reward, like simply putting a gold badge along with your profile, okay, to allow you flaunt your achievements in social media or to your friends or to your co-workers. Great, right? Okay, so the next we will see rankings. Okay, so you are probably so used to this that you have never stopped thinking about it. But rankings are another element used in gamification to promote competition and encourage its users to keep going at something. True. When you see, what do? You go and check your position over there. Like, position means what? You want to see that who is ahead of you and to whom you are ahead of, right? It's really normal to want to pass them out and climb to the top of the list. It comes within the human, behavior, right? So it's very normal. The simple goal of rising up the rankings serves as a powerful motivator to continue. People like to keep scoring. You can't deny, right? They love scoring. The top performers in any field, like any field, will enjoy being listed in rankings. Where as the rankings, what do? Like they are a clear reflection of your performance. Even in sports, if you wanna compare it with sports or sales, you can see that in sports many great players retire as soon as they start dropping off because they have a habit to be on the top, right? They don't want to be on some other places or other positions, right? So they retire for that. So and but you, if you see that you are in 18th position or kind of like that, you try to level up yourself, right? Okay, so next we shall see are talking about rewards. Very interesting. Everyone wants rewards, right? Like everyone, whether it is a child, adult, or old man, everyone likes rewards. Rewarding strategy is one of the most important game design element in gamification to encourage users keep acting in the gamified context. The process of getting the reward is exciting because the participant knows that they will be surprised at the end by whatever they end up with. Now, under gamification, there are some categories, like there are types of rewards. We shall talk about four of those. Okay, the first will be fixed action reward. It engages customers by building their loyalty and rewarding their frequent actions. Got my point? Second is nothing but random rewards. Sorry. With random rewards, the participant gets a random based on completing a required action. Just as the name suggests, random. Randomly they get the rewards. But after completing a task assigned to them. Okay? So this doesn't actually matter what the gift is, but you are getting a gift encourages you to be on the game. Okay? Third type of reward will be sudden rewards. Now this is a kind of surprising rewards which you don't even expect to get. Very exciting, right? We all like surprises, and if it is about rewards, then who doesn't like it? What is the difference between sudden rewards and random rewards? Well, like the only difference between is that random rewards are unexpected rewards based on certain expected trigger, but sudden rewards are those rewards based on unexpected triggers. Okay, so the last reward type would be social treasures. These are the rewards you cannot earn by yourself or you cannot buy or get by yourself. These are the rewards you are gifted by somebody, your friends or someone else. So these are four types of rewards we have seen. Okay. So next we shall talk about upgrades or improvements. Okay. When we begin a game, we usually have few tools or powers at our disposal. Very few, right? Because we are in the 0th level or the first levels, so we have a few power to use, right? However, as we make progress, video games or games gives us new skills. Very important to gain new skills, don't we, right? Different weapons and more powers to utilize. As we pass more and more milestones, we have the power to do more things, more exciting things. So, this is how our thirst to improve grows gradually. Next, we shall see is nothing but the progress bar. Later on, we will look into likes and recommendations. Okay. So progress bar, it is just a simple bar with percentage showing, which is you cannot even imagine how effective it is. Okay, like if you see that your profile or that bar isn't completed, for example, somewhat like 85%, we human being will do anything to be like make it from 85% to 100%. Right, we like to see that okay, the progress bar is completed to 100%. Wow factor, isn't it? I must give you the example of LinkedIn. If you use LinkedIn and you have a profile in LinkedIn, there you have must have seen such kind of thing, right? It talks about your profile accomplishment. Okay, so the company itself, when it added the progress bar, the amount of information included in user profiles increased considerably. Okay, next we shall talk about teamwork, and then likes and recommendation, lastly character selection. Okay, we all know the value of teamwork. Like when we are in at our workplace or wherever in our schools, if we do or work on a project as a team, the result you can see is massive, right? It's really very good. So teamwork, collaboration is kind of something very, very good habit, right? A very good thing to be in you, a good quality. So another way to encourage competition is to create groups or teams, right? Now people like to feel that they belong to a tribe and they are better than the others. Everyone else, they are better than them. They like to feel like that. Okay. So dividing players into camps can be a powerful incentive to become more engaged in a project, identify with their teammates, and beat their rivals. True? Next, we will talk about likes and recommendations. From the name only, you are understanding what do I mean. Like, right? So, given the popularity of social media in today's world, gamification has incorporated recognition in Facebook and Twitter as an additional motivational element. Okay? It's not just about being able to share our achievements and badges. You can also reward players by offering them impact and status on social media. True? Okay. So lastly, we will talk about is the character selection. It is very simple, but the impact of character selection is very big. People like to be able to choose and identify with the characters in a game. Now, whatever the aim is, maybe launch a new project or complete a training course, that really doesn't matter. But if choosing the characters is involved, it really brings a lot more fun. Above all this, if you can choose like characteristics like male or female, fast or slow, black or white, etc., we can boost motivation levels by several points, right? So here from this slide we have seen 11 most important gamification techniques. So now you know how gamification works. Okay. So next, as I said, I'm gonna show you a short video on the impact of storytelling. Okay. So let's see. You can see the game, right? A game environment you are into. Right.
The Venus de Milo. A woman stands half naked, her legs covered by drapery. Her hair is tied up.
She's hearing the story
Arms are missing.
of that sculpture. So interesting, right? It's amazing.
This is one of the most famous statues in Italy.
she can also see the map in it, right? To where to go and where not.
This is probably the most famous painting in the world. The Mona Lisa. It was painted by Leonardo da Vinci between 1503 and 1506 in the Italian city of Florence.
So each and every part of that painting you can see, like she can hear a lot very information about that painting, inch by inch. This is what storytelling.
Was completed in 1819 by the French painter Theodore Géricault.
Even the history, right? The whole pack of story, just the whole pack. Amazing, right? Okay. Now we have understood about gamification, but how can we make it use in our own way? Right? Like, how can we understand it? Like, this is my own way. This has to be in my own way, right? So, for that, first, like, think think about it. Like, now people will not remain engaged in something that doesn't meet their requirements or expectations, or otherwise is not fun, right? We have been talking about the power of fun, don't we? So if it is not engaging, if it is not fun, then people will definitely get bored, right? So before doing anything, before getting into anything, even talking about gamification or applying it, it is also very important to understand yourself. Yes, it is very important to know the type of games you like, what kind of things you like in a game, right? What are the achievements you are attracted to? So all these type of things you must know about yourself. Only then you can identify how to implement or how to use this gamification concept in your own very way, not just by listening to me or somewhere else. You can implement it the way you like. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. Yes, Richard Burtle, he released his research on multi-user adventure players in 1996. He categorized the type of players into four quadrants. You can see the quadrants, namely socializer, killer, achiever, and lastly explorer. Okay, so the two axes are acting versus interacting, and players versus world. World, nothing but just the game itself. Okay, so I'm going to talk about all these four types of game players. Now you can, after that you can know that in which part you belong. Okay, so who are socializers? I will first talk about the socializer because it is the largest group of players fall into this category. Okay, socializers prefer to interact with other players. So from this we understand that they have chosen interaction over action and players over the world, over the game world, right? Socializers are not often competitive on an individual level, but they are completely competitive as a group. Okay, they thrive in games that reward social interaction, such as a lot of Facebook games are there. If you have heard about Farmville, you know that a person can visit to other person's farm and water their plants. Okay, so achievements, badges, these and that kind of things, they are not very much interested into those. They are attracted being socialized with other players. Okay, so you got the thing, right? Next I shall talk about explorers. Okay, explorers also liked interaction. They also have chosen interaction over action, but the key difference between explorers and socializers is that explorers like interacting with the game world and not the players. Getting my point? through the name itself you can understand that explorers, right? So they like to discover the game itself. Okay, so explorers like to discover new things about the game they are playing. They tend to favor large detailed games to explore and experiment on it, seeing what secrets they can uncover, right? If you have ever played those treasure hunt games, you would find it very exciting to uncover new secrets time to time, right? So this is what attracts the explorers. Okay, so the game elements must have enough depth for these players to not lose interest too quickly, of course, right? Now we shall talk about the achievers. Now, achievers favors acting over interacting with the game world. Okay, so you can see the difference. They like acting over interacting with the game world. Okay, they love the system of like having points, having levels, badges and achievements. They're really attracted to all this. These kind of things fascinates them. Okay, so achievers tend to be very competitive with others, especially with each other, and use their various status to flaunt in front of others and distinguish themselves from the peers. Okay, you're getting my point? Any type of game with scores that can be objectively compared will attract these achievers. Okay, so the obvious thing has to be the leaderboards and badges. These simple grading mechanisms are a quick way to engage these achievers. Lastly, we shall talk about the killer. Don't think that killers are some kind of violent or ominous as the name suggests. We are not talking about some murder kind of thing. Killers are they are more similar to those they are very similar to the achievers. The gaming habits I'm talking about, okay, they're very similar to achievers. They want to compete with others, they want to win, etc, etc. Okay, but there's a key difference in between killer and achiever. Like, why they are called killers? It is simply because they not only like to win, they also want to see others lose. That is why they are called killers. Okay. So, if you have heard about the game named Age of Empires, so you know that Age of Empires are very much within a killer's domain. Cool. So now we know four categories of game players, kind of game players, right? First, we have seen socializers, explorers, achievers, lastly, killers. Okay, so now you might be thinking, am I one of these? But I do have some kind of characteristics from this quadrant also, that quadrant also. So how shall I decide that where I belong? Okay, having covered the four bottle categories, it is important to understand that the categories are not mutually exclusive. Getting my point? Players fall predominantly into one of the four categories but can heavily display characteristics of another. Even all four. That is also possible. Okay, that is why when anyone is taking this bottle test, players are given percentages based on how closely they align with a given category. Okay, so we got to know a lot about ourselves, right? Now we have successfully realized our category of game fun, but where to implement them? Where shall we implement it? Like, we have learned the game mechanics, we have learned about ourselves. Now where shall we use all this information? Okay, so here comes application of gamification, right? With any new and promising technology, gamification has been applied in a diversity of domains. A lot many fields it is being involved. Okay, In this webinar, we are going to discuss about 4 applications of gamification, which is in education system, business, medical service, space sector, and lastly, music. Excited? So let's go. Okay. So we are going to talk about gamification versus education system. Okay. One key sector where gamification is being actively explored is nothing but education. Hmm? Gamification provides a fairly relaxing learning environment and offers various rewards in the application. Therefore, gamification becomes a powerful method influencing and motivating students in education. Why motivating students? You must have seen that students nowadays are getting bored. They don't even know what they are studying. Why? Because they found no fun in it. Right. They are not engaging themselves into anything. They're just having that kind of attitude that, okay, I have to do it, so I'm doing. But you know the benefits of gamification, right? It converts have to want to. Okay? The gamified applications present emerging phenomena to make the shift from understanding to engagement to learning promotion. Getting my point? Games can enhance the student focus and motivation and can provide the freedom for students to try, fail, and explore. Remember this, okay? Try, fail, and then explore. Now, when I say fail and explore, I have a very interesting small question for you all. Let's see what is it. Give your full concentration on this question. It's very interesting, very important. If failure is the best teacher, you can see in the slide. If failure is the best teacher, why does no one teach you how to fail better? Clicked? Yeah? So this is something which I want to say, that this is where like you can see another specific thing about games. Could you recognize it? It is nothing but restart ability. The ability to restart, which only games give us, is amazing, right? So this is where gamification process actually works. This is the place like in the game space you are expected to fail regularly and go in loop. Amazing, right? You can explore a lot and you can earn and you can learn how to fail better so that you can gain more and more knowledge. Cool? Okay, so we shall move to the next application. Now we'll be talking about gamification versus business. Okay, the main goal for most companies is to drive their business performances, right? Agree? Now, every company, organization, or business want their employees to reach to their fullest potential. Hmm? A productive, engaged, and motivated workforce heavily influences an organization's ability to grow and succeed. Right? Now, as we know that gamification has been proven to be very successful in increasing engagement, organizational productivity, business plans, learning, employee education, and knowledge transfer. Right? Let us now see how gamification is used to achieve this all. So, for that, we will be seeing the benefits to gamify business. Okay. First, first skill improvement. Okay, skill improvement leads to an increase in their productivity and creates a relaxed and collaborative working environment. You're getting my point, right? Second, gamification uses a goal, achievements, and rewards system that encourages employee motivation. How? We have already discussed about it, right? Third, using gamified techniques both in HR management, that is human resource management, sales and marketing, helps in increasing the employee as well as the customer satisfaction and performance. Okay? Fourth and the last one, it gives the managers accurate and real time information about all employees. So, what do we get? So, what we found from it is that gamification is serving as a single source for all performance tracking needs. Very exciting, right? It's like amazing thing that it can handle every aspect, like a lot of thing it is handling, right? So there's a lot of benefit to gamify business. Next we will talk about gamification versus healthcare. Okay, so physicians often struggle to help their patients change their health behavior. Why so? Like patients may be knowing that they need to quit smoking or they need to lose weight or they need to do exercises, but summoning their will to change is really very hard. We all know that summoning bad habits is very difficult, right? So, to understand it better, let us know about the game named Remission. Okay, you can see in the slide Remission. Remission is a game which is related to compliance. What do I mean by compliance? Patient compliance in medicine describes the degree to which a patient correctly follows medical advice. Okay, like most commonly it refers to the medication to be followed correctly, or you can say a prescription to be followed correctly, right? So after a study, the results indicated that playing remission led to more consistent treatment adherence, faster rate of increase in cancer knowledge, and faster rate of increase in self-efficacy in young cancer patients aged from 13 to 29 years old. Okay, so to motivate cancer patients, kids, it's really very important because we know how difficult it is to be in the medication for so long, as it is very much irritating, isn't it? So they need some motivation, they need a fun to do this. It's very important, right, to help their mental state to be stable and positive throughout, right? The concept of using games beyond entertainment, specifically the anticipation that was found while developing the game, was that games actually can be really effective in driving fatal behavior. Yeah, it's really very effective. And the game was designed to encourage kids to stick with their medication. Okay? Constantly, the game actually gave a sense of power and control sense of self-efficiency in the face of the disease. Okay? Now, we know how gamification is playing a crucial role in the medical field, right? Now, I'm going to show you another short video which is a clip from Remission video game where Roxy, okay, Roxy is nothing but a nanobot which battles the cancer in the body of a fictional cancer patient. Okay, so let us see. The reference for all these short videos I have given in the later slides. So this is the lymphatic system where we are now. So this is the nanobot assigning the first assignment to this character. We have learned about character selection, didn't we? She has to kill those cancer cells, find out those cancer cells and kill them, shoot them. Just see. So it's really fun when you see doing all this. So they have started. See, they're fighting, they're shooting. She's shooting. Okay.
Lymphoma cells.
Here,
Dividing. You got your target.
storytelling is also effective, right?
Now you're cooking.
See the passage, right? You can see the environment.
Colony destroyed.
So you are very much like in an exciting mode that you are killing the cancer cells, right?
A few cells have
And you
broken
have
off the
also
pattern.
understood the
Get them
importance
before
of
they regrow
killing
the colony.
cells,
That's better.
killing cancer cells, right? So this is how the environment of the game of remission, and it is helping the patients to be in the medication so that
Chase
the
those buggers
medication
down.
can help them kill
Oh,
all
you've
such
cleaned the
kind of
stone.
cells, cancer cells. Okay, fine. Now we shall talk about gamification versus space sector. Okay, video games serve as a bridge for the communication between scientists and the public. Why so? Like the terms which scientists can understand, we common people cannot understand to a level, right? Now this is where games come in. Now if we like through games we can understand it, how cool it will be, right? So games can motivate, educate, interact with people and visualize complex scientific facts. Just now you have seen the video game that is remission. Over there you don't know what exactly every cell's named, every this or that, but you only know that these are lymphatic cells. This kind of description is there. I need to kill them, right? It's very exciting. So through visualization you can learn more, right? You can learn more. Everyone loves to know about rockets and space travel, isn't it? It's kind of very exciting, like what is going on outside this world, right? Let us talk about such serious games. You can see in the slide, NASA education released an outline video game called Moonbase Alpha. Okay, it is a future exploration game that simulated the event of colonization, or you can say space settlement. Okay, when after the human returned to the moon, the game allowed its players to work in a futuristic 3D lunar environment. Okay, let us now have a grip on lunar exploration tasks with gamification. Okay, the game challenges its users to accomplish a lunar exploration mission which imitates whatever the real astronauts did when they were in Apollo lunar roving vehicle, that is LRV, right? So just imagine you are sitting in your at a comfortable place that you like, just being at your home or wherever you want to be, and imagine you are exploring such a huge interesting thing. You being yourself a real astronaut, you can explore the LRV, you can know all the descriptions and a lot many things about LRV and the thing the astronauts had really done in their times. How exciting is it, right? And through that, you get to know a lot of terms, right? Very easily you can know that because you're visualizing those, right? Okay, so next we shall move to, okay, before that, I have some screenshots from the game. You can see in the slide that there are four screenshots I have taken from the game itself. For a larger overview, there's overview of the game development. Okay, you can see, right? Next, gamification versus music. Okay, have you ever imagined like combining your game love with your music love? Now it is possible. The next decade will see another layer of a major transformation in the relationship between music and gaming. Very cool, isn't it? To play any instrument, you must become familiar with music theory, right? The more music theory you study, the more better you become. True? As simple as that, right? Now, it's just like if you have learned an instrument at a younger age, you know how important music theory is, right? In younger years, like, however, the degree of difficulty may be so much that it can even discourage a potential musician to give up. Yeah, that is not a good thing, right? That a potential musician, if he gives up, then the music industry will not get more and more bright musicians, right? Music is a part of our lives. Whatever we do, if we even if we are cooking, we are studying, we are doing stuffs, home chores, or we are at workplace, we just sing a song. It feels good, right? When we hear, listen music or sing a song, it really feels good. So discouraging in music is not at all good. This is where gamification can come in, right? Making music theory fun and engaging through points and achievements, and being able to play around with notes and scales, tempos, pitch, etc., is a great way to help young musicians grasp these concepts, right? Are you getting my point? So a good impact of gamification, right? They can not only see what notes don't belong in a scale, but also they can hear it as well. Such amazing thing. Just imagine the scenario, right? All these short videos that I have put in this slide is just for you people to visualize it, and through visualization you understand it, right? It's very good to imagine and then have it in real, right? So um so visual and audio cues are important when learning music, right? And gamification can provide that while allowing you to simply play around with notes and tempo to gain a well-rounded perspective of the elements of music. Okay, the gamification of music education can keep the youth interested in an educational program, right? If children now wants to learn music, let them. And the gamification of music education will keep on increasing the demand for students wanting music in their schools as well. So we have seen five very beautiful applications of gamification. First, we have learned about the education system, where gamification is to encourage students, motivate students, and bring their concentration back to their learning, right? And have fun. Okay, have fun while learning, and they must not get bored from their learning. This will help them to grow, right? This will help them grow their as mentally, and also have a lot of fun. True. Next, we have seen gamification in business sector, right? So we have seen that encouraged employees can be the reason for organization's success, and everybody wants a success. We have discussed about it, right? So in business, Like, if you want to keep your employees motivated and encouraging themselves to be involved in the task, the projects or the products will be very much good, like better than before, right? The result will be better than before. They used to think about the output, just like students or people feeling that they have to do it, not want to do it, right? When gamification came in, they started to think about the outcome instead of output, right? So that's the level of um, advantages of gamification, right? Now we think that we want to, and that's why we are doing it. We are having fun in it, so that's why we are encouraging ourselves to get involved in it and be in it, to complete it very well, right? Next, we have seen gamification in health. Now, health is a very important factor, right? Your health is very important to you, to your family, right? So being healthy is very important. But those patients who are suffering from cancer, like diseases, it is very difficult for them to intake that like strong medicines, right? The medication for them is also very difficult, like very irritating or very painful, I must say. To motivate them to be to like let their mindset be stable and positive and enjoy even doing the medication, not only just reading and learning. Even in the medication they must find their fun, their enjoy. Like, how will they enjoy? They must find that thing in, even in the medication, right? So that's how they will get motivated to treat themselves well and be in the medication till ends to fight with the cancer cells, right? You have seen remission is one of the games that was built for all these patients, right? Next, we have seen space sector. How amazing, how interesting is it? You yourself sitting anywhere, like anywhere you are in your comfortable place, you can just be an astronaut, be feel like an astronaut and experience whatever they had experienced, right? So it's amazing. Lastly, we have seen music. We all say that music is into our nerves, don't we? Right? So, music is something which we cannot get rid of. But every factor, everything, every aspect of field has some kind of discouragement, right? So, we must not get discouraged and must not let it go from our nerves, because music is wonderful, right? It's a very good feeling, right? It comes under feelings of human beings, right? So gamification also motivates the young musicians to become a great musician and understand each and every note, or I must say the music theory, very well, with enjoying it, with having fun. Okay, so these are all the applications. Like, I have discussed five, you can go through a lot many. Okay, like they are diverse. Okay, it is just diverse. Now, summary, of course, I must say that the future, the future of creativity and innovation is what gamification. The gamification is going to be touching every aspect of our lives. Just now I told you that not only these five applications, but also a lot many fields where gamification is going to be involved or are already involved. Okay, just to empower the fun factor in between us, amongst us, and encourage us to get involved in whatever we do. Okay, just give a cross to the boredom and have fun whatever you are doing. Okay, so hope you guys have enjoyed the webinar, and thank you for being engaged with me for so long. Okay, as I have promised you in the previous time that I will give you the reference of all the videos. Even with those, I'll give you some other references where you can go and have fun, explore more, and know more about gamification. I'm giving you a little bit time. Just you can take a snapshot, you can take the screenshot or just have a snap of it, and use these links to have fun and know more and more about gamification. You can go back to the webinar in the starting time of the webinar, and you can understand each and every part of it again, so that you can think more clear, understand it more clearly, and know how effective gamification is in our lives. So enjoy, and thank you everyone. Stay safe. Okay, so I'll end up